So it's the 10th of December 2016. It's around about 11 o'clock. It's about 12 degrees. It's drizzling a bit. It has been foggy all morning, but it's cleared up. I've just taken an hour on 2 buses to get here. I'm at Torcross, which is on the coast between Dartmouth and Salcombe in South Devon. My last run came along here, along the coast here. That was back in February. Been a bit of a busy summer with work, so haven't had a chance to do this sort of thing for a while. But anyway, got 12.6 miles of hilly coastline, ending up in Salcombe, heading in that direction behind me. And not too hilly, I think, but I haven't actually worked it out. I'm just having a coffee and then I'm going to get my ass going, and it's starting to rain, but hey, who cares? So about 2 miles in now. One of the really interesting things is that there are some beautiful little bays and beaches along the stretch of the coastline, which are only sort of accessible by very small roads. And so this place behind me is called Hall Sands. It's a very pretty little place. Yeah, it's still raining, sort of drizzling, but it's quite warm. It's about 12 degrees today, and to be honest, I could be running in a t-shirt, but I've got so much stuff with me, I need to wear these clothes. But so yeah, I'll carry on and stop next time there's something interesting to video. Yeah, just come up an enormous hill, which I really didn't check. I know more for next time. This start point in the background. So better get stuck in because I've still got 10 miles to go yet. Okay. So this is about 3 miles in. This is start point. It's really interesting if you look at the tidal race here. This side of that promontory, it's really calm, and then you can see the roughness and where I suppose the wind's catching it as well. And I'm going to be running down this path, follow the path up towards the top of that hill, and then down to the right, and heading out over there. So I'm just about to run around start point by just up from the lighthouse. So we're taking a bit of a corner here, so that's looking back up towards Dartmouth. The centre there is Torcross, where I started, then B Sands and Hall Sands, and then I come up that hill and down this road, and now the lighthouse is down there. I'm just off over this hill. It's all awesome. Never encountered this before. This cow is very reluctant to move out of my way. This is the next bay, which brings us up to a sea pool there. When I get there, I'm about a mile or 2 from my end point at East Portmouth, which is opposite in the estuary opposite Salcombe. I'm not exactly sure how far I've come now, because there's something's gone wrong with my Garmin. It's not telling me distances, but it's about 4 miles. But yeah, this is what I'm running along now. I think it's fairly close to the shoreline, so I don't think it's massively hilly. But it's very beautiful here. It's quite remote. It feels lovely. Okay, so now I'm at Port Point. This is the lifeguard station. Looking out to sea. South, and that's where I came from. That's the last big bay. This is the East Point. There's some holiday homes there. We stayed in there with the family once. I just come along there. So at this point, I start turning back round inland towards East Portsmouth and Salcombe. So I think there's about 4 or 5 miles left now. Feeling a little bit draggled, but it's going well. And this is where I'm headed now, up into the estuary towards Salcombe. So we're going to go this way around the side. The path continues up there. Through there. It's quite windy now, it feels a little bit cooler. I've had a headwind for about the last 5 miles, so hopefully I'll start doing a bit of shelter. Okay, it's a couple of days after that run from Torcross to East Portsmouth and Salcombe. Yeah, the usual few adventures, which is quite funny. I thought I'd just give you some information on the OS maps, the Ordnance Survey maps that are relative to this area. So it's the OL20 that you need for this one. And from the map, basically, I ran from Torcross Point, past Horse Sounds, Bee Sounds, around Start Point, then back along the coast to Prawl Point, East Prawl. It's around here somewhere that my Garmin packed up, and then from there it's still another sort of 5 miles until you hit the estuary and then come up to East Portsmouth and get the ferry across here to Salcombe. I ran this one on my own. It's quite tricky to sort out buses, but essentially you need to get a bus service from Salcombe up to Kingsbridge, which was the local 606 Tally-Ho bus, and then change at the main bus station at Kingsbridge, and you got a number 3 bus to Dartmouth, which takes you across to Torcross. A very nice bus driver, a lady was driving the bus. She'd been driving buses for 13 years and she was very friendly and informative of the area, so it was really nice to meet her. Yeah, so as I was saying, I had a bit of an issue with my Garmin. It appeared that when the sleeve of my Pertex Montane top gets wet and then sags down across the Garmin, it's a Garmin Forerunner 630, so it's got this touch screen. Not only was it changing the screens, it stopped the recording of the run that I was doing. Luckily it saved it, so I didn't lose the first sort of 5.5 miles of that run, so I still got the data for that. But somehow it managed to change the data fields, so I lost the distance fields, and I was feeling quite tired and sort of engrossed in the run at that point, and couldn't work out quickly how to reset the fields. It's something that took me a couple of hours to work out anyway, initially. So yeah, luckily I managed to re-record the rest of the run, but I wasn't able to access the distance that I'd already covered. I knew I'd run about 5 miles, but some very friendly walkers that I met before I started the run suggested that once you got to East Prawl Point that you were nearly done, but and that was sort of in the back of my mind, but it was another 5 miles. I had unfortunately not paced it very well. I kind of went off at 10k pace, not realizing how hilly it was. And it goes back to this thing I've mentioned before about, even though it's a fairly safe thing to be running, it's worth spending a little bit of extra time planning everything in advance and looking for some waymarks that you recognise on the way round that will give you a good idea of where you are, so you can pace it, how much energy you've got left. I was carrying a couple of gels. I took a couple of gels, sort of 4 or 9 miles, to keep me well fueled up. So I was fine. The distance was fine. I'd underestimated the amount of hills, but it was a great run. And it's this time of year in the winter. It's quite wild and exposed, very windy, and it was misty. So it was a nice little adventure. It was great. Mentioned before in one of my other videos the fact I was using Inov8 X-Talon 190s. This is my second pair. I've had these since mid-February, I guess. I'm not sure if they made an adjustment to the upper, but they've definitely worn much better. I have done a lot of running in these again,
over the summer. But yeah, they're holding up very well. The rand on the front has just started sort of coming away, but I've ordered the new 225s, which have a more sort of encompassing rand around the side. They're slightly heavier, but they're made of a different upper material. I'm getting some for Christmas, and they look as though they are, you know, a very slightly heavier but much more durable version of this, while still retaining the flexibility, hopefully. These have worn pretty well. They're wearing quite a lot at the front. I'm very much a toe striker these days. There's not a lot of wear on the heel, which is good to see. I'm very much a toe striker, but yeah. So these have lasted well, and I'm really looking forward to getting the new ones and giving those a try after Christmas. So that brings us to the end of this third video. In retrospect, I'm noticing that there isn't a huge amount of running footage, but I have bought a GoPro camera, so I'm planning to take that out on some runs very shortly to get my head around how that's going to work. Also going on a snowboard trip in February, so I should be taking it on that, especially considering I bought some bright red new trousers. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. Cheers.